Anal continence refers to the ability to control the release of stool and gas from the rectum and anus. This mechanism relies on a combination of anatomical structures, physiological processes, and neural control. Below is a detailed explanation of the mechanisms involved. 1. Anatomical structures. Several structures contribute to anal continence. A. Anal sphincters. Internal anal sphincter, IS, composed of smooth muscle and under involuntary control. Maintains baseline resting tone, providing 70 to 85% of resting pressure in the anal canal. Relaxes reflexively during defecation. External anal sphincter, EAS, made of skeletal muscle and under voluntary control. Contributes to the ability to delay defecation consciously. Contracts forcefully during instances of urgency or stress. B. Pelvic floor muscles. Levator ani muscle complex includes the puborectalis, pubococcygeus, and iliococcygeus muscles. The puborectalis muscle forms a sling around the rectum, creating the anorectal angle, which aids in maintaining continence. The pelvic floor supports the pelvic organs and enhances the anal closure mechanism. C. Anorectal angle. The anorectal angle is the angle formed between the rectum and the anal canal. The contraction of the puborectalis muscle tightens this angle, aiding continence by providing an additional barrier to stool passage. D. Anal cushions. These are highly vascularized submucosal structures located in the anal canal. They help maintain a tight seal and contribute to resting anal pressure. E. Rectal compliance. The rectum's ability to stretch and accommodate stool without an immediate urge to defecate is crucial for continence. Neural control. The process of anal continence is regulated by a complex network of autonomic and somatic nerves. A. Autonomic nervous system. Sympathetic fibers from the hypogastric plexus maintain resting tone in the internal anal sphincter. Parasympathetic fibers from the pelvic nerves mediate the relaxation of the internal anal sphincter during defecation. B. Somatic nervous system. Pudendal nerve provides motor innervation to the external anal sphincter and part of the pelvic floor muscles, allows voluntary control over the EAS. C. Sensory innervation. The anal canal and rectum contain mechanoreceptors that detect rectal distension. Signals from these receptors travel to the central nervous system, triggering the urge to defecate or the conscious decision to delay it. Physiological mechanisms. The physiological processes ensure a balance between continence and defecation. A. Resting state. At rest, the internal anal sphincter remains contracted to maintain closure of the anal canal. The external anal sphincter provides additional closure. B. Sampling reflex. When stool or gas enters the rectum, the internal anal sphincter momentarily relaxes, allowing the contents to be sampled. Sensory feedback determines whether the contents are solid, liquid, or gas, influencing the next action, e.g., retaining or expelling. C. Voluntary control. If defecation is not appropriate, the external anal sphincter contracts, and the puborectalis tightens the anorectal angle, preventing stool passage. Conscious decision-making relies on intact neural pathways and pelvic floor muscle coordination. D. Defecation process. When defecation is appropriate, the internal anal sphincter relaxes further, the external anal sphincter relaxes voluntarily, and the puborectalis muscle relaxes to straighten the anorectal angle. Coordinated contractions of the rectum expel stool. 4. Factors influencing continence. Age. Decreased muscle tone and nerve sensitivity may reduce continence with aging. Medical conditions. Conditions like rectal prolapse, sphincter injury, or neurological disorders can impair continence. Diet and stool consistency. Loose stools or constipation can affect the efficiency of the continence mechanism. Conclusion. Anal continence is a dynamic interplay between anatomical barriers, muscle tone, neural reflexes, and conscious control. Disruptions in any of these components can lead to incontinence or other anorectal disorders, necessitating a detailed understanding for effective management.